What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. Boozer here, thanks for stopping by. I just wanted to make this video just to say that I was wrong about the current hero's path. I made a couple mistakes along the way. I swear I redid the path maybe like 2 or 3 times, and every time I found a little bit that could be better. And in this case, I found an even better way. Obviously, thank you for the comments from the community and all that, alerting me of some of the details that I would missed in the hero's path. So I'm going to share with you guys a completely revised hero's path here, and I'm going to give you guys some really strong reasons why this is a really good event. So let's jump right into it. All right, so first things first, the thing that didn't change was actually getting the first key. The first key is what you need to actually start playing. Like I said in the original video, you need 50 fragments from this event to complete the fusion. So first, I'm going to go for the 50 fragment route. So the first thing you need to do is go for the first route, which will cost you a total of 18,250 points. Now, after that, this is why this path is particularly tricky, because of the branching in this path. Now, after acquiring the first key, you want to go and unlock your first fragment. Now, it makes sense to go far left, far right, down the middle, but the one that was missed was actually this one down here. It's actually the closest one. So you want to go on this branch here, connect and open this fragment up. So now you will pick up your first fragment. And after that, this is where it gets really interesting. And the part that I missed is you can actually branch from this fragment to here and here. So this saves you a ton of resources, guys. So what you want to do is basically collect the first fragment, and then you can go off to your key here, collect one, assuming you only need 50 fragments, of course. After collecting your second key, you can do this way and basically finish off the fusion 50 fragment requirement just by going on this small branch here. All right, so after factoring in going for the second key and finishing off with this left-hand branch, you're looking at 33,250 points, which is 7.4 sacred shards. Now, getting 50 fragments is the equivalent of doing 2 events. And yeah, this is a really good deal when you all factor in that the first summon rush for this fusion was 6 sacred shards, 3,000 points for the first 25 fragments. Now, this is where the savings really kick in that differ from my original video, when you need to go for the 75 and the 100 fragments in this event. All right, so if you only needed 75 fragments, what you would do is pick up the third key down here, the third key, and then basically just go down the middle and pick up this middle fragment, and you're done with 75 fragments. That's only an additional 7,000 points. So I put plus 7,000 here for 75 fragments. And then you're done. You're done with your 75. But if you needed the full 100, you have to do something a little bit differently. You have to go down far right, so you get this fragment here, and then that gives you access to this key for only 1,000 points, and then you finish off with this middle fragment. In total, that's going to be 51,250 points. And that's for 100 fragments. That works out to just under 11.5 sacred shards. Again, this is 4 events in one event. That's an extremely big discount as far as shard summoning events go. Keep in mind that there's also a dungeon diving component as well in this, which further compresses the total cost a little bit. And it's a 4-day event, so you have time to build up some energy to save even more sacred shards. With that all being said, Lysanthier is a very unpopular fusion. Maybe that is why Plarium has kind of thrown everybody a huge bone here in terms of overall value. It's not going to cost a lot of sacred shards to finish off this fusion if you waited for this hero's path. Furthermore, I want to point out that ancient shards are actually worth 450 points and sacred shards are worth 4,500 points. This is roughly a 10-to-1 ratio. Generally, for summon rush normal events, ancient shards are roughly a 25-to-1 ratio against sacred shards. So the ancient shard value in this summon rush is significantly high. It's actually high enough that it's actually worth mentioning. Combine that with the reduced cost of the overall hero's path, it makes actually pulling ancient shards quite valuable in this event. And if you guys are not even going for the fusion, it actually gives you access to some pretty nice rewards for a relatively cheap price. Let me explain. Also, I want to follow up here and say, if this costs about 11 and a half sacred shards to get 100 fragments. That pretty much puts this fusion event total cost for ancient shards at about 115. So if you have 115 ancient shards, you can make up for the 11 and a half sacred shards to finish off effectively 4 events in this fusion. Now, this is the part where there is actually some value in this event. So the books at the bottom here, I put in purple with a total cost of 65,250, or the equivalent of 145 ancient shards. You can pick up 2 legendary books and a mythical book. Now, that is pretty insane value relative to any champion chase or any kind of summon rush value that we usually get for ancient shards. For example, during a 2x ancient shard event on a champion chase, this is the best value you can get for the ancient shard. You get double boosted rates, epics give you a lot of points and all that. The average expected points from a champion chase per ancient shard is about 50. So if you have to pull 145, you're getting about 7,000 points on a champion chase. Now for 7,000 points during a champion chase, you are sure not getting 2 legendary books and a mythical book along with some other stuff for your trouble. 100% you're not, unless you get stupid lucky on the RNG, but from an average point of view, you're not going to get anything near this award. Now, if you want to spend 145 or 150 ancient shards during a summon rush, now you're getting even worse value because each ancient shard is only worth 20 points in a summon rush. So 150 ancient shards only going to get you about 3,000 points during a summon rush, which is basically equivalent to 25 fragments and whatever small goodies you get along the way. You're definitely not getting 2 legendary books, a medium stone, and a mythical book for your trouble. So I guess the overall point of this video is that this Hero's Path is probably the best Hero's Path in terms of overall value we've ever had. Like probably ever. And it's not even close. We're basically completing 4 events during a fusion for the cost of 11 and a half sacred shards, which is probably what we would get on like a double value kind of situation here. Because usually for 11 sacreds, we're getting probably like 2 events, like two fragment chunks, so about 50. In this case, we're getting 100. On top of that, we also have a dungeon diver component, so we can squeeze in some extra points there. On top of that, we also have super boosted ancient shard points. So the ancient shards are actually really helpful for those people that don't have sacred shards to complete obviously these fusion fragments. And even if you weren't going for the fusion, there's actually some decent value here from the ancient shards. As you can clearly see, 145 value for ancient shards can net you some pretty good top end rewards here. And of course, if you don't want the mythical book and 1 legendary book, you can go straight into the big rock for 30,000. If you wanted to buy ancient shards from the shop with gems, the gem conversion is roughly about 12,000 gems to get 100 to buy the ancients to complete all of this and get 2 legendary books and the mythical book. Now, I guess you can extend that into trying to get the soul for Lysanthier, which will end up costing you 76,250 if you go through the middle stone and the key, and then you get Lysanthier's soul. Obviously, this is the fastest track down to his soul. It's still pretty expensive for a mid-tier soul. Approximately 17 sacred shards worth of points. I don't think many people would be going for his soul because I don't think many people are going for this fusion. But I guess the point of this video was just to highlight that, hey, I made some mistakes along the Hero's Path, even after trying to do it a couple times. It's a little bit difficult. It actually hammers home how complex and messy this entire Hero's Path is. So hopefully I showed you guys kind of more a final version of it so that you guys get the clearest picture of which way you want to go so that you guys spend the least amount of points. I also wanted to highlight that the Ancient Shard value is actually quite good relative to, other events that we could use them for, like for Summon Rush or even 2x boosted events for Champion Chase. The rewards are actually decent. Obviously, not many people are going to pull 145 Ancient Shards during a non-boosted rate with, not so great progressive events just to get these books. But hey, that's some incentive there if you really need these books, or if you really like the progressive champions. But hey, the Ancient Shards also give some flexibility to those trying to finish off the fusion fragments, right? They get good value there. So definitely give a second look to your Ancient Shards. Don't just focus on the Sacred Shards for this event. They give really good value. You're not getting the best pull percentage, which is probably the biggest drawback, especially when the 2x boost for Sacred Shards is still on. Sacred Shards look juicy to pull, of course. But if you want to do this with the least amount of shard resources, Ancient Shards might be the best just to get the most points towards this hero's path. So I wanted to hammer that home in this video here for you guys right away so that you guys are aware. And I wanted to make that correction for the 75 and the 100 fragment path. You do get some significant savings over what I initially posted in my first video. Hopefully this video is going to be it, guys. Anyways, that's going to be it for it. Let me know in the comments below if I missed anything. Again, let me know what you guys are going to do. Does the boosted ancient point total give you guys a little bit more hope to finish off the fusion fragments if you guys are in a bind? Are you guys more tempted to pull ancient shards to try to capitalize on some of these resources? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.